What's going on with you guys? Hope that you're well. It's been a while since I've posted, and I've been insanely busy with a lot of music and other things going on. I may have mentioned that I am self-contracting a build on a house. I don't know what I've got myself into on that one, and I guess we'll find out here because this thing's already started. It's crazy, but it saves you a lot of money, that's for sure, when I do that. And I'm hoping in time to maybe things come up to get on and talk about some things with music licensing further. When things come to mind, I generally come on and talk, and I know sometimes I'm always in my car. It just seems to be when a thought arises, it's good to just turn the camera on and talk. I think it's about as real as it gets when it comes to that. And like I say, I've been in this business since 2010. There's a lot of things I wish I'd have known in 2010 that I know now. I think things would have been different, but can't worry about that stuff. Things happen in the time and the manner in which they're meant to happen. So the thing is I know you look up and you, God, I wish I would have started this a long time ago, but it is what it is. You can't do that. You just get on it and do it if there's something you want to do. But I've always talked about, and the thing that I've harped on the most is learning this business and understand the things that if you're going to get into doing production music for TV and film and media, there's just structure of tracks, and the way you write is different than writing for the masses, and you can do both. It's okay. It's okay to do both. There's nothing wrong with that. But you've got to lock in to both or one or the other if you want to do this. And one is not only your writing and your structuring, but one thing I want to talk about here is how you package this stuff, mix it down, your resolution and bit rate of this stuff. You have to know that there's things that libraries and clients require. And it's like either you want it 16 bit at 44 kilohertz or 24 bit at 48 kilohertz, and then they want full mixes and alternative mixes, mixes that are scaled down, that don't have any many lead parts in them. They call underscore or a narrative mix. A non-percussive mix, percussion and bass. So it depends on the kind of genre you're doing. Like if you're doing hip hop, they want a bass and drums mix. It's very common on that deal. If you're doing rock, sometimes bass and drums. If you're doing rock, sometimes your underscore is just bass and drums. Sometimes if you have a lot of lead parts throughout, it's just no lead parts, and it's just your straight rhythm parts with bass and drums. I'm just throwing some examples. But the other thing is that sometimes you're required to do stems, and sometimes you're required to do certain cut downs for a 60, 30, and 15 second, which is a bumper, 30 second, and then doing a 60 second, or doing a 10 and a 5 seconds, which is basically a 10 second is a long stinger and a 5 second is a short stinger. Doing a lot of this stuff, and you got a lot of guys that want to get in this and they don't want to do it, or they don't know how to do it, and they're looking to either have somebody else do it. And what you have to understand is, in this business, is simply this. And this is, I'm talking about this because I do some editing work with somebody that I work with, who has a library, and they have people, and he calls me and said, listen, I got a guy who's got a great album, but he doesn't know how to do this, or he doesn't want to do it. He's like, I don't want to do all that, can someone else do it? And that's fine. I do a lot of that. I edit, I mix, and I master with that stuff, and I'm okay with it. But you have to understand one thing. If you don't learn how to do that stuff and get good at it, you're going to have to be willing to give up some writers to do it. And it's because it's a lot of work. And this particular publisher, there's a lot of packaging and a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of editing. He wants to edit it a certain way, so what he does is he structures it. He sends me how he wants it. I edit it down. I mix and I master it, and I package all that. It takes a lot of time to do it. So generally, some of these guys have collaborated 50% with someone else. But if you're going to have someone else mix and master it, just know that whether it's a 50-50 split or it goes 2 ways or 3 ways, if it was just me and you're going to have to at least give me 30% of your writers to mix and master it, and then you get 70. But if you've collaborated 50-50 with somebody and now it goes 3 ways, it's 33.3% 3 ways for writers to me because of that. I'm not asking you to pay me to do it, but you're going to have to give up some writers to do it. And I hate to tell you that. That's not preying on somebody. That's not much to ask for to do some work for some writers, because if you had to pay somebody to do this, you'd be paying a lot of money. It wouldn't even be worth getting into, because all your backing would be eaten up in any sink in paying somebody to do it, and it wouldn't hurt you. It would hurt your long run, for this sort of thing. So why not split the writers? But what it does, and what it's going to inevitably do if you really want to work in this business, is going to motivate you to get better at doing that stuff. And that's just the protocol in this business. If you don't want to do that, then stick to writing artist music for the masses. But even then, you're still going to have to package a narrative mix with no vocals or stuff like that, non-perk, for people that may want it on another side. Even if you're doing, let's say you want to do stock music, which is a whole different subject altogether. And when you're getting into the whole worries of AI, which I'll talk later, I wouldn't even worry about that. But I will say the one thing AI is going to do is it's going to wipe out your stock music sites. And that's another conversation for later. However, on a side note, don't worry about AI, because I think you always need a human element. And if you're writing for the right people, they want somebody who's going to get music written and not sit there and rely on samples and loops all the time, because AI is going to take care of all that. It's going to be quick, easy music with samples and loops because of what it does. If you're an artist and you're a musician and you're playing real instruments and you're composing music, you shouldn't have to worry about AI, because there is going to always be a need for a human element. So that's a side note on that. But moving forward, what I was talking about, the whole purpose of what I'm saying here is, whatever you do, if you want to get into music licensing and production music, you need to learn this business, and you need to learn how to write and produce for it, and how you're going to have to put the time in, and it's not hard. Listen, every track I do, I produce it, or compose it, produce it, mix, master, and I package it all at one time. I don't do 15 and go back and then mix, master, and package them all after the fact. I get each track done, and once you get in a routine of it, and it's second nature, there's nothing you can't do, because every publisher wants something different, and you just have to know and understand that each library you're working with, or whoever, what they want. Just know when you're going into it that, okay, this guy wants these types of alternative mixes, and they want stems. Know the difference between stems and tracks, and get it done. That way you have enough power to say, I've got 100% of my royalties, or I've got 50-50 if I'm collaborating with somebody, and someone else isn't taking it in three ways, 33.3% three ways. Because you have to understand that you may get mad and argue with me, but I'm telling you, that's more than fair. Because I'm the one that knows how to do it. I'm willing to help you do it. But I have to have some skin in the game to do it. And there's nothing wrong with me asking that. That's just my worth, and it's probably worth more, but that's fair. That's more than fair. And I'm good at it. I've been doing it a long time, and you need to get better at it. So if you want to get more of your writers and get better at it and empower yourself, learn to do that. I promise you, this is not extorting you to learn how to do this and get better. You need to do this if you want to get better at production music and doing this. I'm not saying I'm the be-all, end-all. I never claimed to be. I'm not the greatest at it. I've gotten a lot better at it, and I've been doing it a while. And it would empower you. These kind of things should motivate you and empower you to get better at doing that. So the point of today's video is this. If you're going to get into production music, you really need to learn everything about it and get better at everything that you're doing. It's a lot of work in the front, but it's going to make things a lot easier for you in the long run, my friends. So, as I always said, some of you who watch this video aren't subscribers. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. As they always say, it does help the algorithm, because I know something I say in the long run helps somebody. My whole point is here, I get on and I talk about music licensing and stuff that works for me has helped me, and I'm just passing that on. So it's a thought that came to mind because I've been in talks with this library. Apparently that guy, he's collaborated with somebody else and wants me to do all this, and it's three ways. And I'm asking 33.3% is, because it's a lot of work. And he's come back saying, well, I don't want to do that. Well, If you don't want to do it, then your music's not going to end up in that library, and you have to understand that these libraries are not going to sit there and haggle and negotiate a lot of that, because there's a lot of other music they need to get done. And if you're not willing to do that, then you have to understand that, and this is not being mean, these libraries probably aren't willing to work with you because you're not willing to work and do that, you know. They're not your employers. This is a business partnership. But what you always want to focus on is you want to give these libraries what they're asking for. Do it. Go above and beyond, because these guys are going to get you the placements. And that's just what it is. Put the work in and do it. It'll pay off later. You'll see it grow. I promise you, my friends. I promise you, it will work for you. Take what I'm saying and run with it. I'm just passing on the stuff I've learned over the years, the stuff I know, and I hope that helps you. Anyways, hopefully I'll get on in the future and talk more about music licensing and music and things. I'd love to do some more composing online and stuff, but even within, it's gotten hard to do that, because some of my publishers, I've composed it online and it ends up in the library, and then they end up coming back doing a copyright claim on it, and I don't want to get in trouble on that deal. So that's the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of that lately. I don't want to get in the heat with my library. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. And as always, when something cool comes along, you know I'm going to cut you in. Have a great one, my friends. Be cool. Bye.